Purchase your tracks today.
Welcome back to your favorite sports competitive betting show. I am your host, Josh Elliott. It's season 2, baby, and we're bigger, we're better, and there is more money to be made. We brought on some of the best sports handicappers that Twitter has to offer for the next 16 weeks. These guys are going to battle it out head-to-head to find out who will win the Call Your Shot championship. So strap in. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited for this matchup. This is going to be a good one. Let's see who's entering in the betting arena here. Let's get to it here. In the red corner, looking for his first win in season 2 of Call Your Shot. This guy knows what it takes to get to the top, but it's tough to stay there. Looking to bring in some NFL picks and some soccer picks. It is Kenny Cotterill, who is not here, but I will have his picks for you. He is going up against, in the blue corner, also looking for his first W on Call Your Shot. This man is looking at some soccer picks as well and some NFL picks. Tough road to get there, but he thinks he's got it to win here. So the Green Bay man himself, James, makes picks. How you doing, James?
What's going on, guys? Excited to be here. Excited to maybe flip around what was the last time I was here's results and get some wins this time. I'm feeling pretty good about this card, so I'm excited to get going.
Sounds good. That's good to hear. That's really good to hear. In the next matchup, for this matchup, it's going to be a tough one for him. He says that it's going to be an easy one, though. He'll be dipping his hand in the alternate spread picks. He is the degenerate like myself. It is Dylan Smith. How's it going, Smitty?
Doing not too bad, Josh. Just enjoying a nice little drink on the patio here.
It's excellent weather out there, isn't it?
Beautiful. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Now you're going up in the blue corner. He's the man they call Goliath. 9-1 in his last 10 matchups, profiting 20.25 units all time. Looking to continue that run. If you're wondering who the source is from all the way from Camden Yards in Baltimore, it is the source, Joel. How's it going, my man?
It's going great. You know, we're out here at Camden Yards watching some baseball. The Sox are about to catch up here, so it's going great. And this will be the first time in a while I don't have some baseball picks for you.
Yeah, that is true. Good news for you. Yankees just took a 3-2 lead against Toronto.
We will take it. We will take it.
Yeah, I bet you would. New format, fellas. We're going 4 picks, 7 units. Most profit wins. They can make a spread pick, money line pick, prop pick, total pick for any sport, anything that they think will make you money. There are no rules except for one, no greater value plus 300 in American odds. We are making these picks for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Monday. Games picked tonight could have a potential value change or a line change. Like the Rams favor 2.5 could jump to 4.5, 5.5, or even more, or the other way around. So grab a drink, grab your friends, grab your grandma. I don't care. Let's make some picks and let's make some money here. So I'm going to go to Kenny for his first pick. He says he's going with Tottenham money line plus 110 over to the soccer picks for 2.5 units. Just going to pull up his reasoning here. Why? Give me a second. I had it and I lost it. Oh, here we go.
Whatever his reasoning is, it's wrong because Kenny's going to lose. He's going to go 0 for 3 minus 7 units, whatever that is.
Yeah, probably. Tottenham at home, having lost 3 straight. 2 were to Arsenal and Chelsea, so not too concerned. Kane will score if he plays, maybe even Son too if he has a great year this year. Villa just beat Man U, so I don't see them upsetting 2 straight games. I'm not sure about this. I'm not 100% sure. Not a soccer guy, but he thinks Tottenham's going to win at home for plus 110 value for 2.5 units. What do you think about this pick here, James? I know you're a soccer guy.
I don't mind it. Tottenham's been a little rough the last couple times out, and I think they have some injuries. I didn't really look too much in this game, but Aston Villa has been kind of impressive to me. Maybe just in the cup games I've watched, they did draw with Chelsea in their cup match, but with Tottenham being at home, I mean, getting plus money, it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Tottenham's very very elite team. I don't know the ins and outs, but Kenny likes it. So let's go to James for your first pick. What do you got?
I also am going to the pitch here, but I'm going to go to the lower level, the EFL Championship, which is the level below the Premier League. I like Stoke. They play tomorrow night. They host West Brom. Okay, so both these teams are in very good form. West Brom just got relegated from the Premier League, so they are quote unquote a bigger club here. But Stoke's at home, and they're off to one of the best starts they've had in a while. They got relegated back in 2018 and had a couple rough years. This is definitely the best start since that's happened. Now they get to come home here. West Brom, they have not been defeated in 6 away games, which I know doesn't sound very good, but they've never done anything better than that. They're on the best streak they've ever been on, and I think they're due for some regression. And I think this is a perfect spot to catch them sleeping, traveling to Stoke, who these are actually rivals, and some Stoke fans would consider West Brom their biggest rival. So I know that stadium's going to be rocking. And at plus money, I love the value to with the pick line being safe. So if it draws, you just push it, you get your money back. But if they win, obviously plus money. I like the value there on Stoke at home.
So how often do you see plus money for a pick'em line in soccer like this?
Well, I mean, one side will always be plus money most of the time.
But true, but in a sense that like how often does that underdog team win?
I at home, I like it's me and my buddies call it home team vibes for soccer. And when they're plus money at home, we like sometimes you just get in soccer weird stuff that happens, and it's usually for the home team.
Right.
To me, I feel like if I get plus money on teams I like, I usually take them on the pick line if it's plus money, even against teams like West Brom, who's a very good side. It's going to be a very good match. It might not be entertaining for those who just want goals. Might be very defensive, but I do like Stoke here.
Fair enough. All right, Dylan, let's go to you for your first pick. What are you running with?
Yeah, we're going with my big one here. I got KC -3 first half. Move this line from -4 just to be safe. But I think Kansas City comes out and as a message, they've been squandering it to start the year, but they're still by far the best team in the NFL. Anybody, they look at the favorites to win, still the favorite. So no one's doubting that they're the best team in the NFL right now. They haven't shown it. I think this first half, they come out and they send a message. You're going to win by a touchdown, at least in the first half. I think -3 is safe. At worst, you're looking at a push. I'm willing to think Kansas City's going to actually send a message.
So what about, I mean, Patty Mahomes threw, I think, what, 2-3 interceptions in the first half there against the Chargers. Do you think he's going to be on point now going into this game?
I think he might not throw 2 or 3 for the rest of the year now. So,
yeah, the -3 too. It's kind of a low line to me, but you're dipping into some value or some juice there, but that's okay. For 3 units, that's a pretty good play. I like it. All right, Job, you're up. What does the Count Yards Walls say for your first pick? Muted, first one of the night.
Oh, see, there we go. That's the first one of the night. I was going to say the Camden Yards Ball is going to go to the NFL. We're going to take the Arizona Cardinals money line plus 210. In some places, it's already dropped as far as plus 190. Still take it. There's a lot of value on that. We think they're going to win and easily cover the 5 as well. So if you're a little bit safer of a player, you might want to take that plus 5.
That's a crazy bet to me. Just quickly, why? Like, I mean, they're playing a pretty decent team here. What do you see in Arizona that's going to make them win?
Okay, so the only issues that you ever have when you play in Arizona are Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. But this year, it's not just Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. It's Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins. Chase Edmonds has been effective in the backfield. And then on top of that, Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk have been burning down the sidelines for speed. It's a recipe to avoid Aaron Donald. You can roll Kyler Murray out. He's one of maybe 3 quarterbacks who can avoid Aaron Donald. I just think it makes a lot of sense here.
Fair enough. I mean, I've made quite a bit of money betting on Arizona, and this is probably the biggest value play that you could probably find in a very long time for Arizona. I like it. I don't know if I'll spread the money on the money line, but the 5 points, definitely look at that. But I mean, source is very confident in the money line, so take that for what it's worth. All right, let's go to the second round. Before we do get to the second round, though, a majority of these lines are provided by BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook in over 25 years. I'm going to drop a link here tomorrow or later tonight, either tomorrow morning. It's going to have actually a link that you can go sign up, deposit, and on your first deposit, they will match it up to 125%. Right up to $2,500 as well, so make sure to check them out. Or if you're listening just to the podcast version, you're driving, use the promo code CallYourShot for that same deposit bonus. So let's continue into the second round here. We're going to go to Kenny for his second pick, and he likes the Baltimore Ravens money line minus 110 for 2 units, and here is why. He says Denver's played nobody yet. Baltimore riding high after this week. Broncos are only even because it's at a mile high, so they're at home. Broncos are at home. That's why. Lamar will do just enough to squeak out a win. I do actually agree with him here. This is actually kind of a low line, and Denver has played, I think, was it the Jets, Jacksonville, and who else did
it was another bottom 3 team.
Yeah, so I definitely understand where he's coming from, I think, but I mean, we're going to have to really expect
Giants,
that's what it was. Yeah, we're really going to have to expect, Lamar to be running here. I think this is kind of one of those games where, like, any good D line, I always take the over for quarterback rushing. So I'm curious as to what his line's going to be. But I do like Baltimore here. I think that's kind of a value pick for minus 110 for 2 units. The money line, I think I like it a lot, actually. So let's go over to James for his second pick. What are you running with?
This might be a little bit of a homer pick. If anyone follows me knows I'm a pretty big Chelsea fan as well. But I like them to bounce back here at home and win to nil, plus 115. It's a unit play for me. They're hosting Southampton. Chelsea's had a rough couple of outings, but, I mean, to be fair, they played Man City, one of the better teams in the league, favorites to win it to a lot of people. And they lost 1-0, and then they went in the Champions League this week and had laid an egg, and you playing away to Juventus. So they lost that one 1-0 as well. If there's any bounce back spot, is against the Saints. The Saints this season have not been very good. The Saints is Southampton here, especially on the road. I don't think they've won a game yet. They're looking at a 6-game losing streak here, or a draw, a failure to win. Chelsea's only conceded 2 goals in the Premier League this year, and one of them was a penalty versus Liverpool. So only 1 goal from open play. I think Tommy Tuchel, the coach, is going to get him in the shape this week after these 2 letdowns here. I really trust this manager here. Since he's taken over, Chelsea's been just a totally different team from where they were back with Lampard. And I think he's going to get them turned around here. They got arguably the best midfield in the EPL, in my opinion. I know a lot of people argue with me, but Kovacic is playing very well. Jorginho's playing very well. I think they can control this game. Lukaku hasn't scored in a couple games, and I don't think you can keep him quiet for long. So I like them to win here 1-0, 2-0, and I just found the best value on the to nil line. We hope they shut them out and we cash this ticket.
Did I hear correctly that Chelsea's at home or no?
Chelsea is at home. It's at Stamford Bridge. Yes.
Okay. So how have they been doing at home as of late? Pretty decent.
No, they're very good at home. I think both of their goals conceded were actually they just lost to Man City at home. So that was at home, but Man City is one of the best teams in the league. But before that goal, the other goal was a away goal. They didn't concede at home before that. They haven't conceded any goals. So I think the crowd will be behind them here. They'll be amped up after that letdown against Juventus this week. They really played real sloppy. I think Tuchel's going to have them running some laps or something. So we'll come back out, cash this ticket.
Sounds good. Yeah, I like it. Chelsea at home. That's a homer pick, but I mean, hey, you know better than anybody, right? All right, let's go to Dylan for his second pick. What are you running with, Dylan?
I moved the line a bit here, but I got another 2-unit play, so I'm going more units and then move the line a bit. I got Tampa Bay or New England versus. Oh, I had a dog barking issue. New England versus Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's coming back under 51. First off, New England sucks. Their offense, especially, is horrendous right now. They're not going to put up more than 15 points at the most, I think. And then Tampa Bay, they're good, but they're battling some injuries and stuff too. And that I think Tom Brady's got so much stuff going on this week, interviews and other things. Okay, one sec. I got to deal with this dog.
Oh yeah.
I just don't think that. I don't think that Tom's going to be nearly as dominant as people think he is this week. I think it's going to be more of a a fight, and it'll be a close game. I think throughout the whole game, I think it's gonna be low scoring. I think Patriots defense will have some ways to stop him. Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick know better than anyone, right? So I think it'll be a close game. I think maybe they win by 7, something like that, but I don't think they get close to 51 points. I think it's more of a 24-10 game, something along those lines. I don't even think it's close to 51. So I think even I'll take it at the 49 it's at right now. But with the 2 units, I bumped it up to 51 just to be safe.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also don't think we're going to see a ton of points out of Mac Jones. That D-line is going to be causing a ton of trouble for him. And plus, I think James White is out too, right? So they're just leaning on Damian Harris now. So I don't think we're going to see a ton of points on New England side. On the other hand, though, I think Tom's going to go off. I think he is. I think he's had this game circled on his calendar for a very long time, and he's got something to prove against old William Belichick over there. So I think we're going to see probably. I think like a 34-10 game, like something like that. You know?
Yeah, and that's still nowhere near 51. So
no,
I'm
exactly,
not
right? Yeah, exactly.
And
So
I think Tampa Bay will get out to an early lead, and I think they run the ball. I don't think they're gonna run it up. I mean, Tom probably will want to get a few touchdowns and get the crowd going a bit, but I really just don't see any points coming out of New England's side. And if they slow the clock down so much and they kill so much clock already, that unders are almost always safe if they're approaching 50 in New England. Belichick loves to burn clocks, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with you for sure. All right, I'm going to go to a source for his second pick. He's not with us. He told me he'd be in and out, so he gave me some sort of analysis. So his second pick, he's going with Minnesota +2 to cover the 2 points. Minnesota should win this game by 5, but we like the points here as a safety net. That is his whole analysis. Who's Minnesota playing again, James? Do you know off the top of your head?
They play. I was just looking at earlier. I tweeted about it. I like them on the money line too. Let me check real quick.
I can't even remember who they were playing.
They are playing the Browns at home.
Really?
Browns at home.
So looking to take advantage of advantage of a decent. Browns team that offense just really hasn't been clicking as of late. Minnesota, on the other hand, has. Maybe not off to the start that they wanted, but definitely week 2, week 3 that started to kind of get going. I'm not sure what Dalvin Cook is, what his status is, so I'm not sure what he's going to be doing. But otherwise, it doesn't sound like sources too worried about it because they're going with the 2 points. They even think they're going to win money line, win by 5 at least, they said. So take a look at that one. So that brings us to the halfway point. You know what that means. It is the player pick of the week. When shopping online, www.playergolf.com. Make sure to use promo code BETTHEOVER for 20% off. I'm wearing my hat. James isn't wearing his hat. Hey,
I forgot it. I was thinking about it earlier. I forgot it.
My bad. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Dylan was wearing it, but you can see in the top right-hand corner, it's a player logo. So make sure to check them out. They got lots of nice stuff, lots of good golf attire, golf accessories, even athletic wear, everything that you should need there. So make sure to check them out. So the player pick this week is going to be, I'm going to college football. No college football picks this week. So I'm taking the only one. I'm going with Michigan money line +110, 2 units against Wisconsin. Wisconsin just got absolutely beat down against Notre Dame. And if you compare the 2 teams, Notre Dame, Michigan, they're the exact same team basically, except for Michigan moves the ball a lot better. Their yards per game is through the roof compared to Notre Dame. Wisconsin's offense is just irrelevant. They don't know how to move the ball or score points. I have a great feeling that this is going to be a very similar matchup as we've seen last weekend in the Notre Dame Wisconsin game. They ended up winning 40-17 or something like that. So Michigan top 5. Well, I think they're actually ranked. I think they're top 10, but in terms of staggering statistics, they are top 5. I really like Michigan here to beat Wisconsin. Their defense is great. It's not bad. But Michigan's offense is just going to be too much to handle. So that brings us to the 3rd round. So we're going to go to Kenny for his 3rd pick. Kenny is rolling with the Detroit Lions money line +125 for 1.5 units. His analysis: Lions played their first 3 opponents pretty well, and he's not wrong. They did compete against those three opponents. Nagy doesn't know how to use Fields. Detroit wins and Nagy gets fired after the game. Wow, 2 bold comments there, but it is true. I mean, Nagy's not using, he's not letting Justin Fields be Justin Fields. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, he's only had 1 start, right? So you just never know, like maybe this game they could come out, but he's feeling Detroit. I think Detroit's away, are they not?
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, Chicago, their offense hasn't really been rolling, obviously, with the quarterback change. Defense has been there, though. They have been playing pretty great. Detroit kept it pretty close with teams. San Francisco, they ended up scoring I don't know how many points in the second half there in the first week. And then again with Baltimore. And they probably should have won that game had Justin Tucker not had the biggest leg in fucking history.
Banger.
That was unbelievable. But, he's going with Detroit. He's banking on, Justin Fields keeping to what he's doing as last week. So, Detroit, money line. That's a lot of value picks here this week. So I like it. James, what do you got for your third pick?
I'm glad I found some plus money too. I am going back to the championship. This is actually one of my favorite leagues to cap. Not a lot of people do it, and it's some of the most competitive soccer. So this is also another one of my teams I love. Swansea is one of my teams, but I'm going to take both teams to score prop in their match. They travel to face Derby County. It's at plus 110. It's a 1-unit play for me. It's basically just because Swansea has been the kings of both teams to score, especially on the road here. They've conceded exactly 3 goals in their last 3 away matches, but they've scored in every road trip they've had this year. Derby at home, both teams have scored 60% of the time. They've only kept 40% clean sheets, which is pretty good, but their clean sheets are coming against teams like Borough and Reading. Swansea has more of an attack up front. They just scored on Fulham. Fulham's one of the best teams in championship. Swansea went away to Fulham. They lost 3-1, but they still scored. Both teams' to score prop has been hitting, especially when they're traveling, and they're still giving me plus money, so I'll take that value.
Yeah, plus money for just 2 teams to score. Now, who's at home here? You said Derby is?
Derby is at home, yes.
And you said 40% of the time, or 40% of their games, it's been clean.
Yes.
Nobody scored.
They've kept clean sheets, but they've scored. They've scored in 80% of their home matches. I'm not worried about them scoring. Like I said, Swansea concedes. They're going to give up their goals. But Derby, they've also been dealing with some injuries. They started the season with like 11 people on the roster, so it's actually kind of surprising how well they've been playing. But even if they win, I can't imagine that they keep the Swansea attack out. I mean, I see a 2-1 game either way. That's why I just went with the both teams to score. So
perfect, yeah. I mean, that's another good bet, prop bet too, because you don't have to worry about spreads or money line and just a team winning. Just get goals on the board, right? So I like the pick. I like it. All right, Dylan, you're back. Drink in hand. What do you got for your third pick?
What do I got? I got Baltimore Ravens minus 1.5. It's not even money, is it? I thought it was plus money. But anyway.
Well, plus 100 is even.
Is it only plus 100? Okay, anyways. Yeah, they're the underdogs in this game by a slight margin. I think they win this pretty easily. I mean, I just don't. They're one of the better teams. They've had a hard schedule to start the year. My concern right now is Lamar Jackson. He's banged up. He hasn't practiced yet this week. But for 1 unit, anytime they're a pick 'em like this, I think you got to take them. They've already beat the best team in football. They're really banged up on the D side, but they're not playing a good team. So I think this is a pretty safe bet. I'll probably even splash a little bit like -3, -4 on this game, just because I really think Baltimore wins this. And it just comes down to by how many points. So I move this line a bit the opposite way in terms of they're the underdog. So I moved it to give them a little bit of points, but I'm taking 1 unit on it and plus money. I think that's a good safe bet.
I also think highly we're not going to see a ton of points out of Denver too. So I think their offense is quite overrated. Like Kenny said, though, this is kind of the reason why the line is where it is because it's in Mile High. But, I mean, that being said, Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's still Lamar Jackson. He's still going to be able to run, hopefully, if he's not, too banged up. But like I said, this is going to be one of those games where I think he's going to go off for a ton of yards because that D-line is just going to be chasing him the whole entire game. So, I do like the dipping your – I think this is the first time you ever dipped your hand into the spread the other way. I
don't move it this way very often. I mean – at +1, I don't think there's any reason to bet that when you can bet about -1 or -1.5. And for me, like I know Denver's 3-0, but you look at the three teams they've played. Like, I mean, the Jets might be 3-0 playing those three teams. I think they have played the Jets, but like anybody could be 3-0 playing those three teams. So I think Teddy Bridgewater has looked good, but they're severely overrated, in my opinion, at this point to be a toss-up between them and Baltimore, even with Baltimore injured. I think Baltimore's better in almost every facet of the game. So I just don't think Denver should be anywhere near a 3-0 team, and I don't think they're going to be a 4-0 team. So this makes too much sense to me for Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree with you. Teddy Two Gloves. Teddy Two Gloves is going to be slaying it on Sunday. All right, we're going to go to Job's third pick here. He's going with the Giants money line plus 275 for 2 units. His analysis is recency bias has the people recency bias has the people thinking the Saints are good again, but the Patriots played poorly and the Giants should win by 3 to 7 points. He is going for it, you guys.
This is out of control.
Now I don't know if I go money line completely. I like the 7 points that they're given. I think that's too big of a line considering that, they're playing the Saints. I think the Saints are overrated. I told you that, Dylan. But Dylan, what do you think about this money line pick here?
I hate it. I think the New York Giants are the worst team in football. And that's with the New York Jets just down the road, who are annually the worst team in football. The New York Giants look horrible. I don't think it'd be a question in my mind they're the worst team in football if it wasn't for how bad the Eagles looked last game. But I mean, they're favored by 7.5 points? I don't know why. I know it's Jameis, not Drew Brees. Everyone thinks the Saints aren't as good as they did, but Saints beat up on the Packers, and you can say Aaron Rodgers wasn't trying, but they still beat them by 30-some points.
Yeah.
And what do you think? They just beat up on another team last week. The Saints are who the Saints. They're who
they thought they were.
Defense. Like, you think Daniel Jones is going to run up a bunch of points on the Saints? Hell no.
He's got a better offense than he has in the past 3 years.
Yeah, but Sean Payton's still a lot smarter than him, and he has a much better defense than their offense.
That's true. I don't know. For me, the 7 points is big, but this is even bigger. The 275 for 2 units. Even it's his second biggest play of the week.
Yeah, if you want to talk about like plus 7.5 or whatever the line is, okay, maybe. Even then, I don't necessarily love it because I think the Saints are as good as their record and their games have showed. Yeah. But when you're talking 2 units on money line, I mean, there's lottery tickets you can buy too, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. But probably odds are better here, though.
Yeah, you could say that. I don't know if they are. I think the Giants are the worst team in football.
All right, we're going to go to Kenny for his fourth pick. He is going with the Cleveland Browns money line, minus 135 for a unit. Says Browns defense is solid. Should slow down Cook even if he plays. Baker has looked pretty good, pretty solid through 3 weeks. Got to roll with a more well-rounded team even on the road. Now, we were just talking about it. Vikings look pretty good, but Kenny, on the other hand, sees something that Cleveland thinks he thinks Cleveland can dominate here against the Vikes. I'm unsure. I mean, this is kind of he's got the line juiced up a bit, but Baker just hasn't really looked good in his last 2 games, you could argue, right? So he's going to have to really step it up this second game or this next upcoming Sunday here if he wants any sort of chance of winning against the Vikings team who has been rolling. So it's pretty tough to count them out. What do you think Cleveland has to do to win this game here, James?
They're going to have to stop Kirk Cousins. And, I mean, most people hate saying it because most people hate Kirk Cousins. But, I mean, he's been playing really well this year. It's not just been Dalvin Cook. They beat the Seahawks 30-17 with Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they barely lost to the Bengals. And the Bengals are pretty good. I mean, they're getting beat by the Jags right now. But they've been pretty good, And then what was their other game? Their other game, they probably should have won, too. They lost, like, a last-second field goal. The Vikings could easily be 3-0 right now. Mm-hmm. And I think their defense is a little underrated. I mean, I wouldn't blame anyone for taking Cleveland, but I'm probably going to have the Vikings money line on my card Sunday. So
yeah,
I like them at home getting plus money. The Vikings getting plus money.
Right. Vikings are at home too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, Kenny sees something on the other side there. So I mean, we gotta recognize it. Minus 135 for a unit there. That line is from BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Let's go to James for his last pick. What do you got, James?
I saved my biggest play for last. This is also maybe kind of a homer pick,
A
but
homer pick.
just a little slight homer pick. But I'm going to take the
Wait, a
Packers to
homer pick
cover.
out of games again? What?
I'm going to take the Packers to cover -2.5 in the first quarter. It's -115. I'm throwing 3 units on this, my biggest play on the show. Listen, after that 49ers game, I believe in this offense again. I know the defense may have its struggles, but I think the Niners got away with a couple pretty cheap DPIs called on my Packers there at the end. I think they could have beat the Niners by more than just a field goal at the end of the game. But I think the offense is clicking now. You got Devontae and Aaron Rodgers on a whole nother level, like they usually are. I mean, it's just the level they are. The stuff that they do is just unbelievable. I get that the Steelers have a good defense, but we're playing at Lambeau here. I expect them to come out firing on offense. And then I read this stat, I was only going to do 1 unit on this play, but then I read this stat.
Uh-oh.
First quarter points scored by the Steelers offense since week 11 of last year. You want to take a guess?
First quarter. Say that again.
First quarter points scored by the Steelers since week 11 last year, including the wild card game.
It's got to be
0.
I was
like
gonna
zero.
Say, I was going to say 2.
0. They have scored 0 offensive points since They have 1 touchdown. It came in week 12 of last year. It was a pick 6 by Joe Hayden.
I was going to say it's probably a pick 6 or something.
Yep. It wasn't even offensive points. So I saw that, and I've been watching the Steelers offense. It's not good. Najee Harris, he's looked all right, but he's pretty much all they have. And I'd argue that the Packers secondary is their strength right now. I think they'll be able to lock down those receivers. Plus, Big Ben's too scared to throw downfield. He just likes to check down to Najee Harris.
I think they would have a chance if Big Ben sat and they put Dwayne Haskins in.
That would make me a little more nervous about this pick if they did that, but I'm not counting on that. I think Ben Price starts, hopefully. But even if they do that, I mean, I get the Steelers' defense is good, but to cover the spread, the Packers just have to get in the field goal range. And we saw what Mason Crosby's field goal range is. I mean, they get him in field goal range. We go up 3-0. I don't think they're going to score in the first quarter. We cover the spread and cash our biggest ticket. So it may be a homer pick, but I got stats to back this one up.
I like that a lot. It's crazy to think that Steelers fans are talking like, I wish Dwayne Haskins was starting. That's insane.
It's pretty sad when you want Dwayne Haskins to be starting.
The mighty have fallen.
Let's just say hypothetically, Pittsburgh's offense has scored a little bit of points in the first quarter. This is kind of one of those bets too, where it's almost kind of you need to win a coin flip, right? You need to win the coin flip, get the ball for early. I mean, maybe lose the coin flip, get the ball first. And then drive down, hopefully get a score and hopefully stop them. But if you don't, you get the ball back late in the first. Now, are you just completely banking on Pittsburgh scoring another goose egg in the first quarter? Do you think that's
I liked this play before I saw that stat, but that definitely helps. And I mean, I know trends are meant to be busted, but you guys have watched the Steelers offense, right? I mean, it's very rough to watch. I would not. We got players on this Packers defense that are coming around. Devondre Campbell in the middle has been a shock to me. He got signed. I did not expect much out of him, and he has been everywhere. He's the leading tackler on the Packers. He's on north and south, east and west. He's up and down the field. I think he can handle Najee Harris. Jaire Alexander is one of the best cornerbacks in the league, if not the best. He's never talked about because no one ever wants to throw at him. Which, look what happens. Jimmy G decided to take a toss at him, and he picked it off last week. So I like the secondary. I think they can clamp down on this defense. I mean, maybe they let the Steelers into it later in the game, which is kind of why I'm nervous on the spread. But I just think they come out hot, especially at Lambeau. And the way that Rodgers, he turned it on now, I think he's back. The people that were riding that he doesn't care narrative, feeling really, really bad, right? Because he clearly cares. He clearly cares.
That might have been me. I'm not 100% sure.
He might not care. He might just be that good where it's like,
that's also true.
Yeah, that's true.
Also very true. Yeah, I mean, it is a very good pick. I definitely agree with you. Pittsburgh has been shitty. A little quick fantasy tidbit. I think Juju is out this game as well. I would take a look at Chase Claypool for at least receptions, at least. He could probably maybe have a decent game, but who knows if Big Ben can throw the ball. I mean, he's struggling as well.
His line's going to be at like freaking 10, though. He had 11 last game, I think.
Yeah, that is true.
80 yards.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lay it at 8, but
yeah,
I would be weary.
Yeah.
Any receiver props against the Packers make me nervous because I don't know what they're going to do with Jair. And if they decide that Chase Claypool is a danger and they decide to put Jair on him, I mean, he might get targeted, but he's a guy. He is a guy out there. He really is a guy. So,
yeah. All right, Dylan, what do you got for your last pick?
My last pick's a little weird one here. It's whatever Blankenship Rodrigo, I think his name is Blankenship.
Rodrigo.
the nerd, the guy that should never be on a football team, to get 6.5. This game is just such a yuck game to me. Both teams that should be good, but aren't because their quarterbacks are terrible. Indy's such a bad team in the red zone. They line quarterback throw and their defense is so good that it gives them so many opportunities in good field position that they're going to put up points, but I just don't see them putting up touchdowns. So I think it's to get 7 points, you're looking at 1 extra point, 2 field goals. That's pretty safe. I think this is going to be such a game where there's 5, 6 field goals kicked between the two teams. So you could have went either way. I looked at the Sanders for the Dolphins too, but his was 7.5, so I went to 6.5. I think both teams are kicking a ton of field goals. So that's another bet you could look at is over under on the field goals, take you over there. But yeah, both quarterbacks in this game are brutal. Both defenses are really good. But yeah, no, Indy consistently gets in the red zone, gets cross half with Jonathan Taylor, and then they just forget how to run their offense. They stop handing them the ball, things like that. So I think 7 points out of a kicker here in a game that's probably going to be 25, somewhere around there. I think you're looking at pretty safe odds, especially for plus money.
Yeah, I agree with you too. This is just an offense that you just can't really get behind. I mean, Carson Wentz has looked okay his first week or two, but since then he's just kind of really been doing nothing. So I can definitely see them kind of moving it into the 30, 40-yard territory and then kicking field goals. So Brissett, on the other hand, does not look good at all. I think he threw for like 150 yards last week or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Rodrigo. I always like a Rodrigo Blankenship prop. I'm a big Rodrigo fan, so I like the pick. Now, Job's pick. He's going with, and he gave me no analysis for this, but we definitely already talked about it. He's going with Detroit +3 -110, and that is against, I can't remember who we were talking about. Detroit, who are they playing?
Browns. The Browns.
The Browns, yeah. So the Browns don't look good, like we said. It's kind of a scary pick for Kenny to lay them on the money line. Detroit has been keeping close with teams, and I think the Browns are a team that he could do that. But
wait, I mixed up. Sorry, the Detroit's playing Chicago. Minnesota's playing the Browns. Yes. Sorry, Detroit's playing Chicago.
Don't mess me up like that, eh? Jeez.
Sorry, my bad.
I was gonna say Detroit +3 against Cleveland's a stupid bet, but yeah, they're playing Chicago.
Chicago's offense has looked pretty shitty.
Yes.
Like we said, Nagy's not letting Fields be Fields, and we're not sure why. But I mean, this after one game, maybe they're going to let him kind of let loose, but I doubt it. I feel like Nagy's just going to continue his game plan that's just not working, and he's just going to try and get his defense to score 1 point. So
Nagy should be coaching for his job this week. He won't be, but he should be. If he does that again with Justin Fields, he should never coach another game in the NFL. If I was Justin Fields, I'd refuse to play for him. Like that was
asking for a trade. Kenny did call it. He said if they don't win this game, Nagy's being fired, which I don't think that's too far out.
Fired 3 years ago, though.
Yeah, true. Right.
True.
Well, that brings us to the end of the show, gentlemen. I'm just going to do a quick sign-off, confirm picks. Kenny, he's going with Tottenham, moneyline +115. That is a three-way bet, by the way, so if they do tie, it is nulled or they lose it. He's also going with Baltimore Ravens, moneyline -110. And then he's going with Detroit Lions, moneyline +125 for a unit and a half. And then Cleveland, moneyline -135 for a unit. You can follow him at shooters_pod. He's always got some stuff on the go. He's got a betting show himself, as well as a sports podcast. So make sure to check him out. James, you're going with Stoke Pick'em +115 for a unit. Chelsea win to nil +115 for 2 units. I always want to say Derby, but it's Derby. I just found
Derby, yeah.
Derby versus Derby and Swansea. Swansea, both teams to score +110 for a unit. And then Green Bay, the big one, homer pick to cover the 2.5 first quarter spread for 3 units. Is that all correct? Or where can they find you?
That is correct. You can find me on Twitter at JamesMakesPicks. I also post video plays over at betterthan.vegas. And I'm excited to get this weekend going. Best of luck, guys.
Should be a good one. All right, Dylan, you're going with KC -3 first half, -140 for 3 units. Tampa Bay, New England under 51 minus 154 at 2 units, and then Baltimore to cover a 1.5 spread, even money per unit, and then Rodrigo Blankenship over 6.5 points for plus 105 per unit. Is that all correct? Where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter. It's on there. You'll see it. I think everything's correct there. I think those picks are all locks. I think the only way I lose is if he hits a money line pick on the Giants. Like, there's nothing I can do if that happens, which it's impossible. But I got 4 locks for you, so that's easy money.
All right. Yeah, I mean, all he needs is basically one, and then she ain't looking good. But Source, he's going with Arizona money line plus 210 for 3 units. That is his biggest bet of the week. And he's going Minnesota Vikings to cover the 2 points minus 110 per unit. The Giants money line plus 275 for 2 units. And then Detroit Lions minus 110 for a unit. And you can find him at Source Podcast 11. He's at Camden Yards watching his Red Sox lose. So, I mean, whatever. I've been your host, Josh Elliott. Thanks a lot for joining us. Odds provided by BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Don't forget to use that promo code Call Your Shot for the 125% deposit match, as well as the player pick of the week. www.playergolf.com. Make sure you use that promo code BetTheOver for the 20% off. It is Michigan money line plus 110 against Wisconsin. Don't see Wisconsin winning a game against Michigan. So thanks a lot, everybody. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Let's make some money.